This is Dr. Theresa Canada for the podcast, the Silkstock and Sisters podcast. And I'm trying to make sure that you get a sense of what it was like for me to be able to leave my neighborhood school and go to PS6. Here we are at 126th Street behind me. 126th Street is behind me. Let me see if I can show you the sign so you can see. I'm on 126th Street and St. Nicholas Avenue, and PS 157. Yeah. See, there's the sign. Okay, PS 157 is between 126th Street and 127th Street. This school was very historic, and I'll show you the actual letters and insignia still there. Says Public School 157. And PS stood for the term public school. And basically it talks about, how things have changed throughout the city and the country, pretty much. And back then, public schools at that time were certain grades, kindergarten, up until 6th grade. At least that's what it was like for me. I'm not so sure about anybody else, but that's what it was like for me. So the significance about this area is that I used to take the subway. Let me show you the sign. Let me see if I can show you the sign. Let me see if I can show you the sign. For I want to show you behind me. There you go, public school. All right, Public School 157. PS stood for public school. So public school was very significant back in that era because it was a public school. And most schools were designated PS something, whatever the school number was. It was designated as a PS, okay? So I'm outside here trying to show you what it was like being a student. And I walked pretty much, there used to be a subway. Let me see if I can show you what the subway is. I'm going to show you what the subway is that I used to come across. I lived between West 125th Street and West 124th Street on St. Nicholas Avenue. So it was very convenient for me to be able to go to school by myself. I think I started going to school alone, maybe the 2nd grade. I'm not so sure the 1st or kindergarten, but definitely 1st or probably definitely 3rd grade. I know, and I think 2nd grade. So let me just show you the actual exit and entrance I used to go to. This young man standing here, I'm going to show you the sign of the chute. Can you see? I want to tape this. I want to tape the sign here. It says subway entrance. Okay, it says right here, subway keep clear. This used to be the entrance and exit of the West 126th Street subway station when I used to go to school here in the 1960s. So this is easy for me to come through from 125th Street, go underneath the ground, and come out at 126th Street without actually crossing a street. And this was able to let my parents be at ease to not be concerned because 125th Street is a major thoroughfare in Harlem, and not just in Harlem, but in the city. So in essence, that was a lot of traffic on 125th Street. So my parents were concerned about making sure I didn't get hit by a car. So it was just really easy to be able to go underneath the ground. We left our apartment, go underground, walk. And when I got underneath the ground, I knew where to come up. Now, even though that West 126th Street station is now closed, they still have a West 127th Street entrance and exit on the subway station. But the ironic thing is the subway system underneath has changed. So they blocked off, I guess, for whatever, when they redesigned underneath the subway. So they cut it off. So you can no longer go from 126th Street anymore. So you can only exit at 125th Street or 127th Street. And I'm going to show you where the 127th Street station. So you'll see the actual station that 125th Street in St. Nicholas is an A, B, C, and D trains still stop at the station. And it's a major independent, it's called the IND line. It's called, and that's the station that I walked under when I was in elementary school back then. So let me just show you. I'm going to walk close so you can see. Unfortunately, I'm not that expert at doing these outdoor videos. So my apologies in advance. But I wanted to share with you. See, that's the station behind me. Okay, that's the station behind me. So this is a subway station. But like I said, just like you see here at 127th Street, the same thing occurred on 126th Street, which is now closed. They closed that section up, for, I guess, for whatever reason, they redesigned the station. So I want to give you some idea. So where I am now by the windows, this is the first level of PS 157. I believe this was the, I think, the principal's office. I believe the first level was the principal's office and the secretaries and so forth and so on. They were over here. I think that's what it was. So this is the level. It's like, let me just give you so now that you've seen the PS 157 insignia and so forth and so on, let me give you the history about PS 157. Okay, I'm out here on a beautiful day. That's why I wanted to do this today, because, the weather's going to start changing, fall and so forth and so on. But I want to make sure I had a good day to come out when it wasn't raining, it wasn't too hot, and still there's some people walking around, because it's a very important thoroughfare for many people still to this day. And even though the neighborhood has changed, still, it's always going to be home to me, because this is where I started as a young child. And look at me now, right? Go figure, right? So it's had to be good, right? It had to be good. So anyway, PS6 is a historic school building. It really is still, to this point, still in existence. It hasn't been torn down. It's located at 327 St. Nicholas Avenue, between West 126th Street and West 127th Street, in the Harlem neighborhood of Manhattan, New York City. It was built from 1896 to 1899 and was designed, yes, it was a design building by C.B.J. Snyder in the Renaissance Revival style. Whatever that style is, this is how it was designed. And it's beautiful, still beautiful structure to this day. PS6, as I mentioned before, PS stands for the public school. 157, that's the number of the school, signified a philosophical change in school design from what the real estate record and guide described as a tradition of the, quote, school life of a child as a grinding manufacturing process to which the factory style of building is eminently suitable, end of quote. In 1891, Snyder took over as chief architect for the city's schools from George D. Bevois, whose buildings the guide called, quote, warehouses, end of quote, that were a civic disgrace. Work on the school began in 1896 and it opened in 1899. So this school was actually opened as a public school in 1899 with 1,974 students and 45 classrooms, okay? And at that time, I think most schools, not just PS 157, but most schools started from kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth grade. So they're basically, those are the number of grades that were probably in most of these buildings. Now, PS 157, let me see, you see the top of the building, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4 stories, 1, 2, 3, 4 stories high. So yes, it's 4 stories high. Now, I'm gonna see if you can see behind me, that pole that's hanging out there, that used to be where they used to have the flag, American flag outside the school every day. It was outside every day. So the pole is still there, interesting enough. And this was the main entrance. Let me just show you what the main entrance looks like now. And then I'll come back around. I think there were actually 2 separate doors. And I think there was a metal door back in that era, but not now, but that was at that time. So here's one entrance behind me. Let me get this together. This is the 2 entrances behind me, okay? So that one used to be the entrance and one used to be the exit. And I mean, you used to have this really fade should be significant. You had to make sure you maintain. You wouldn't go into the exit. You would have to go to the right. I think the right door was the one you entered, and the left door was the exit. So that says a lot about the school and the structure of how disciplined people were at that point going in and out of the school buildings. So the PS6's design is derived from French and Flemish civic architecture. The limestone, brick, and terracotta building features dormers and a red tile roof and could pass for a group of row houses if it was small in scale. I mean, it's an absolutely beautiful building. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful building. And they've done a great job to upgrade it and maintain its historic piece, historic historic view. I wish I could go across the street and see if I knew how to do my reverse on my camera, I could show you without talking. But I'm very unfortunately, I don't think I know how to do that. Let me see if I can do this. Yes, I did it. Thank you. Okay, here it is. All right, let me go across the street. I'm going to show you what the top of the building looks like so you can see. All right, this is the building. This is the top of the building. Okay. All right. Okay. So now you've seen what the actual building looks like from top to bottom. Beautiful, beautiful building. Okay, beautiful building. The building functioned as a school until 1975, when it became vacant in 1975 and was subjected to vandalism and anything else you can call, because of course the neighborhood was changing as well. Now there was a drive to rehabilitate the building and convert it into apartments for low and middle class income families, and that began in the late 1970s. And that was led by New York State's Harlem Urban Development Corporation and the city's Department of Housing Preservation Development. Work began on the project of renovating this particular building and give it take about 1989 or so, and it was completed in 1993. So from 1989 to 1992, they were doing some construction to get this building become more habitable for people to live in. And the completion in 1903 was taking place. So what happened? The building now, at least the time of this last report online, consists of approximately 73 rental apartments. Some of them are rent stabilized on 5 floors. That's what it says, 5 floors. I'm trying to figure out where the 5th floor is. 1, 2, 3, 4. I only see 4. So I don't know where that 5th floor is. I have no idea, but that's what it says it's 5 floors. But maybe, I guess can't tell. But I only know 4. I only see 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe there's another floor at the very top that I showed you a picture of. I just don't know, right? I have no idea. But I do want to say this particular building is listed as, and at least PS 157 is listed. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places, and that's significant. And December 10th, around December 10th, 1982, which is significant. You don't necessarily have a lot of places that are historic like this. So this is still, like I said, this is still a place in Harlem that now the building didn't just be torn down. It's being used as a rental for people to live in, to be able to stay and live in a neighborhood, which is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. So the other things I want to share with you, that this is where I started my early education, from kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade. Then of course, I left this school and ended up going to PS 157. Leaving 157 and going to PS 6. And this school was attended by, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 5. Yes, 5 out of the 7 Silk Stocking sisters attended PS 157 prior to going to PS 6. The other 2 young ladies in the book attended 2 different schools. One attended a school on the east side of East Harlem. The other one attended a school that's not far from this neighborhood, but it was in Harlem. So all of us came from some form of either Harlem or East Harlem neighborhoods that are in the book, and attended PS 6 when we left our classes in Harlem. So let me just show you again, if I can, how there used to be an alley, and I'm going to show you a picture of the alley. I didn't show you the picture before. Okay, let me show it to you this time. I think I can do my reverse on my camera for you so you can see. All right, so that you actually see what it looks like. And I'm going to just show you as I'm walking around, as I go around the corner here. Let me show you as I go around the corner. Okay, this is as I'm walking around the corner. And this is the first level. And there are people walking about here. And this is where the side exits. I think we used to line up in the alley. These are the entrances and exits of I think there was always two doors, because one was always identified as the entrance and one was identified as the exit. I don't know why, but that's what was standard, and this is pretty standard. So these are the two doors that are still here, and they just incorporated and made updates, I guess, so people more recent. So this is the first level, and this was the side view. I think this is the only side. The other side was part of a hill, so you really couldn't do that on the other side on 127th Street. Let me just show you the end of the building. We're going to come to the end of the building, and you'll see how there's a steps that you go into the back into the play. This used to be the playground outside. Let me just let you see this real quickly. Okay, this is these are the steps that we will go up, and you really can't see anything behind here at this point. No, you really can't see anything. But this is was a very small alley that we would come up here and line up to go into class each day. So I would have to come out of the subway to 126th Street, come in here and stand in line. In the line for my classes, there's a spot for every class at a specific spot, and the teachers or either somebody in the school would take us into the building when it was time for school to start. So this is a neighborhood. Not much has changed. The building that's across the street is still there. It's been renovated over the years, and the back of the post office is over here as well. Let me just scan over here. That's the back of the post office. So these were always here. This is a building that was here when PS 157 was open as a school. And so the post office is still here, because as I said to you before, West 125th Street in Harlem is a major thoroughfare. So you're going to see a lot of the things now that you could have still seen back then. And I'm going to continue to walk. Let me go back and let you see me as I walk. Okay, I'm back. So this is me again. And I'm going to walk back over to leave and go back over 126th Street. As I mentioned before, they opened another school at 126th Street between 8th and 7th, which is now called Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard, which is 7th Avenue, and Malcolm X Boulevard. I think, no. Yeah, Malcolm X Boulevard. I think that's what's called. That's 8th Avenue now. But that replaced the public school 157, and that school, I think, was PS 154. So that was the replacement in the neighborhood for neighborhood schools, children to attend, PS 154. So let me show you. I'm going to show you basically as I'm walking towards 125th Street. I'm going to just pan out, let you see what it looks like in front of me. So I'm walking now towards 125th Street on St. Nicholas Avenue. And this is the building, like I said, next to me, which still is here. They've been renovations in this building as well. So this is a building. So let me just share with you how the neighborhood has changed quite a bit, but still some of it's very much the same. And I'll say to you, let me go back because I wanted to have myself in the picture so you can see me as I'm walking. I lost some of the sun has gone away a little bit. So I have to, we lost some of the sun. So we'll have to just, hopefully the camera will work and it shows enough lighting for this to be able to be taped. So we'll see how it goes. But this is really I wanted to share with you some real live stuff instead of just showing you just me and my little Adobe trying to talk about the different things that's happening with education, because community is also important for educating children. So this is with a community that really grounded me and allowed me to have one of the best educations in the world. And also exposure, okay? And exposure. It's not just education, but exposure as well. But this is where my first Black teacher I had, which was significant in terms of allowing me to become the best that I could be. All right, we're at 125th Street right now. And I'll show you the sign so you can see what it looks like. Okay. I'm going across 125th Street on St. Nicholas Avenue. And there's a sign on 25th Street. That's where it says West 125th Street. And this is where I would come from, but I would go underground from my home to PS 157. So hopefully, oh, the sun's back out. So hopefully this gave you some indication as I switch back over. This gave you some indication of how it was to be able to grow up in Harlem and be able to get to and from a neighborhood school back in the 1960s, give or take. So this is to give you some indication of what it was like. And luckily, we had the subway. We could go underneath and not have to cross the major street that I just crossed by myself as an adult. But can you imagine a second grader or a third grader walking across a major street like that? Yes, exactly. That's the feeling exactly. So that's it for today. And hopefully you were able to get some sense of what it was like when I was a child attending PS 157 before I went to the desegregated, quote unquote, school, PS 6, from the 4th grade to the 6th grade. So until the next episode, have a great day. Have a great evening, night, wherever you are around the world. And we'll see you next time on the Silk Stocking Sisters podcast. And don't forget to subscribe and make comments or click whatever you want to do. But please stay in touch. More to come with the next episodes. Have a great day. Bye now.